Right. 15 April 2022. And today I'm broadcasting or streaming from Zambia. And unfortunately, I do not have much of my equipment. So this has to be very, very quick. But I just wanted to give you my view, my first impressions of Lusaka. So this is my first time here in Lusaka. I've been to Livingstone before, but Lusaka has really been a different eye-opener for me. And I think many people who come to Lusaka, they will tell you that this city is amazing. It's different from anything that they have ever seen. So my first impression of Lusaka when I arrived and the shock that I got was the number of people selling on the streets. So I want to quickly show you this video. So I'm going to be using my fingers here to control because I don't have my equipment. The number of people that are selling on the streets of Lusaka, it's shocking. So let me play for you the clip that I recorded. There's so many people on the streets and everybody is selling, but it's organized. It's almost as if there's permission to do this. There's no one who is bothering the other person. And you can see now we're in front of the Zambia Anti-Corruption House. And it's quite a long street, all the way up. It's exactly the same as you go. You see. And most of the shopping is being done on the streets, on these, they hang the clothes out. It's almost like a market, similar to the shoes. They put the shoes on the floor. Very interesting. Let me turn on the other side and see what I'll see if I go there. It seems like it's a big, big market. What is this street? I'm not seeing anything written. People are shouting. Okay, so you saw that video that I recorded. Apparently, the biggest street here in Lusaka is Cairo. Cairo is one way, the other way, and then it's one way, the other way. And then there's Freedom, I think it's Freedom Street, which is where downtown is. And that is where I first walked into downtown, Freedom. And there are people selling everywhere. So everywhere you look, there are people selling. That is my first impression of Lusaka, and that is what you're going to see when you come here. You're going to see people selling. Check this out. This is people selling at the bus terminus. Yeah, this is called Intercity. And then this is in Cairo. The next one here, this one is in Cairo. Every little piece of space you can find, there's someone selling there. And that is obviously the biggest impression. If you go to the countryside and look at this, you're going to see these women selling these coals everywhere. So every piece of road, there's someone selling. So Zambians are basically big on the informal sector. There is nothing, there's no country that I've gone to that has got people who are selling like Zambians. So that is the first thing that I have to give them. The informal sector of Zambia is very, very big, and there are a lot of people on the streets. However, there's order. That's what I like about Zambia. A lot of order. Everyone who is selling, they're using their little space. They are not encroaching onto any other person's space. They're not harassing anyone who is passing by. They are doing business. I like the informal sector that Zambia has got. It's perfect. So it's fantastic what they're doing with the informal sector. I'll give them their, I don't know, let me give them a 9 out of 10. This is great stuff. What Zambia has done, they've allowed people to go on the street to sell. But there's a lot of work to be done. The Zambian economy, as it stands, is very, very informal. That is one thing I realized. And for the women in the villages, these women I was talking about, because I don't know if it's the culture of Zambia, but I did not see a man on the road. all the way from Kariba until I got to Zambia, I did not see a man selling on the road. All I saw, so in the countryside, it's all women. It means that the men have gone to the cities and the women are in the villages, or maybe the men are in the farms. I don't know, but all I could see was women, young women, older women. They're the ones on the street. They're the ones hustling in the villages. So a lot needs to be done there because the economy is very, very informal. However, Zambia is not a small economy. It's big. When I got here to Lusaka, I was convinced that this economy is very, very big. It's probably challenging the Mozambican economy without the resources. Obviously, Mozambique has got a lot of resources. So Zambia is doing very, very well in terms of retail, financial services, transport. Well, transport, they're doing well, and they're not doing so well. Let me tell you why they're not doing well. I met a young man at Siavonga. That's Humphrey there. So Humphrey, I was with him. He helped me to get into the bus. I used the public transport to come because I had my car. I had to leave it at Kariba. So what Humphrey was telling me is that there is literally no transport in Siavonga. People are struggling to go from one place to another. And it's true. There's no transport. There's no formal transport anyway in those areas, in the far-off areas. And the roads are in a terrible shape. If you look at the distance that I traveled between Kariba and Lusaka, it's 180 kilometers. It took me close to 4 hours to get here because the potholes are so bad. I'm not joking about this. The potholes in Zambia are probably worse off than the potholes between Karoi and Makuti, because that is the area in Zimbabwe where there are potholes. When I'm driving to Kariba, there's the potholes in that space of 80 kilometers in Zimbabwe are equivalent to the potholes that are here in Zambia between Kariba and when you come to Lusaka. I don't understand why the road is so bad. In fact, the road is so bad that the truck crashed on the way to, I saw a truck that went into the mountain after hitting a pothole. This is how bad the road is. So in terms of the road, so the transport is not good. The actual road, they need to fix the road. It's just a matter of patching it up. The road itself is nice and wide, but it's got a lot of potholes. So those are the two things I saw. And then obviously the issue of women. I see that there's no opportunity for women, especially those in the countryside. And I think I'll come back to that as we go. Now, let's go to the issue of opportunity. All right, I've looked at the economy. The economy is doing well. There are obviously issues that they need to fix. There's a lot of work to be done in terms of turning this economy to be friendly to the locals. If you look at the companies that are here, you've got a lot of big international companies, financial services companies, hotels. I'm sure they've got other companies that are here from South Africa, especially Barclays Banks, Absa, Standard Bank, FNB. They're all here. I saw those companies. Hungry Lion, ShopRite. These are big, big companies here. So the Zambian economy and the South African economy, they're almost the same. If you walk around, it looks the same, minus the shopping. They don't have the big shopping brands like Truworths. I saw Woolworths in a mall, but I didn't go inside. But if you look at the way that they've organized the economy, it's friendly to the outsiders. So someone who is coming from South Africa with a big, big company, they'll do well here. But I have a feeling that a small guy who is Zambian is not going to have as much opportunity because the economy has not been engineered for the locals. So this economy is huge. When I come to Zambia from Zimbabwe or from South Africa with my bank card, I do well. I go to the ATM, I can withdraw cash, but I don't think the local guy is in the same position. So the opportunity here for the government and the opportunity for the local is in fixing that gap, creating the opportunity for the local guy. This is where this opportunities, this economy is going to grow. The growth is going to come from making this a local economy. And this is where the challenge for the new president is. How do you turn an economy that is friendly to outsiders to become friendly to locals? Because once you have created opportunity for the women in the countryside, you have fixed the roads, you have created a formal transport system, all these things, once they're done, this economy is then going to start growing. Because what I saw is that there are a lot of lodges. As I drive into Lusaka, there are hundreds of lodges. I'm literally talking about hundreds here. Everywhere you look, there's a lot of lodges. There's a lot of real estate for sale. Land everywhere is being sold in Zambia. There's lots of what do you call brick making guys. Everywhere you look on the side of the road, there's a brick making company there, a brick making company there. There's a lot of trucks, Chinese trucks. So the Chinese, they have taken over the industry of trucks. So all these, they're going to struggle against South African giants. For example, I'm at Hilton. Hilton is $90, $90. That's nothing. The hotel I'm sleeping at in Kariba is $150 a night. There's a South African hotel just up the road, which is charging $50. So a Zambian who's got a lodge, there's no way they can compete. And I just showed you the other hotel here. I think that is Stay Easy. Stay Easy is the cheapest hotel in South Africa. So Zambians are building lodges, lots of lodges, but I don't think they'll be able to compete with these big international brands. So the opportunity is going to come from making this economy friendly to locals. And if you look at the car industry, I went into a street in Freedom. There's a lot of car industry there, but it all looks very, very informal. There's nothing that is big that can make someone a millionaire or a multimillionaire. And that is where the government of Zambia will have to work on the opportunity. Localize this economy, diversify, make it possible for the guy who is selling on the street. This guy who is selling here, there are hundreds of these guys on the street. Take them off these streets and put them somewhere where they can become multimillionaires. Because at the moment, they're just selling a few things here and there from China, and they won't make it with that. That's not enough. And then obviously, the one thing that I realized about Zambia, no one here wears a mask. I can assure you that everywhere I went, I had to take off my mask because I was looking ridiculous. I was the only person wearing a mask, so I just had to take off my mask. It was strange, man. Even in the taxi, no one wears a mask. The only place where they wear a mask is in the hotel. When you enter the hotel, they tell you to wear a mask. That's the only place there where you actually see someone wearing a mask. So I applaud them for keeping COVID low. No one sprayed me. I'm telling you, COVID does not exist in this place. They don't know about it. I don't know why, but they just don't know about it. It's not big like the way it is in Zimbabwe, where you get sprayed everywhere you go. So in terms of opportunity, at the moment, there's a lot of work to be done. This economy needs to be re-engineered. The new government needs to think very, very hard about how to grow this economy. At the moment, what they're doing, it's going to keep it, it's going to be high. The economy is booming, but it's not going to grow. So growth is going to come from consumption, and consumption is not there at the moment locally. Maybe if you talk of tourism, there could be tourists coming here, but then what do they come for? If a tourist is coming to Zambia, what is that outstanding thing that they've got that they can show a tourist? I still have to question that, because when I look at Zambia, maybe Kafue Gorge, I'll probably pass by there on my way back, but I don't think they have that outstanding or unique proposition, value proposition that they can give to a tourist. So Zambia, very, very well done. Nice city, But growth, where are they going to get growth? I find that very difficult to see where they're going to get that. Now, obviously, if they fix the transport system, if they fix the roads, if they create opportunity for women in the countryside, if they create opportunity for the youths, this Lusaka could easily be the next Joburg, minus the resources. Where did they get the resources? I'm always asking myself that question. Because if you look at the real estate that they're selling, there's no one to buy it. It's unlike in Zimbabwe and Harare. In Harare, you cannot find a single residential stand. I have literally been looking for residential stands. I could not find good quality residential stands. Here, golf courses, everything you want, commercial property is there. It's everywhere. It's advertised. Everywhere you look, it's proper plots for sale. So the buying power is just not there. That is where they need to grow. The buying power needs to be grown. And then I want to go obviously to the multinationals. These multinationals have reduced the prices here in Zambia. The prices are very competitive here. If you want to do anything in Zambia, let's say, let me give you an example. For me to sleep in a hotel in Kariba, it's cheaper for me to go into the bus to and fro for $10. So that's $20 plus coming back. So it will cost me $100 to go to Zambia, sleep in a hotel in Hilton, in Lusaka, and then go back to Zambia to Kariba the next day. It will cost me cheaper to do that than to sleep in Kariba. My dinner at Kariba was $50. I'm not kidding you. By myself, $50 at a hotel. Here in Zambia, my full course meal was $10. So I had lunch, dinner, and my breakfast is going to be free. So these guys are very, very competitive. I don't know how they keep the prices so low. Zambia has got very, very low prices compared to Zimbabwe. That pricing model is very, very different from the pricing model in Zimbabwe. And this is something which obviously the Zimbabweans need to think about. And also, if you look at the value of where you are. Yesterday, I was trying to swipe my card from South Africa at a hotel in Kariba. There's only one hotel where you can swipe. I could not withdraw cash. So the value proposition in Zambia as a tourist is higher. Unfortunately, the assets are not of the same quality as the assets in Zimbabwe. The assets in Zimbabwe is obviously of higher quality. Zimbabwe has got Vic Falls, it's got Kariba, it's got Hwange National Park, it's got a lot of other things that are there. The thing is, the Zimbabweans just need to fix their value proposition. What do you give that tourist that is going to come to Zimbabwe? And you need to develop more assets also that can attract a Zimbabwean. I'm sure a Zambian who is anywhere in the world can easily come back here. I don't know about jobs. I don't think there are jobs here. I've seen the big companies here. I've seen Indo-Zambia Bank. I've seen First Capital. I've seen, I think, First Alliance. I've seen all these banks I'm talking about, the foreign banks. But I don't know how many people they're employing. I don't know whether you can actually get a job here as a Zambian to say, I'm working a job that I can work for years. And then when I'm tired, I retire. I've seen MTN. I've seen Zamaco. There are big companies here. But somehow, I feel that there's a small, limited number of jobs. So the growth is going to come from creation of a new economy. And that, with the competitive prices, I don't know how it's going to be done, because you can't be an entrepreneur in such a competitive environment. It's going to be very, very difficult for new people to enter, except if they were to create a totally new city. So if the new president was going to say, I'm creating a new city, and this city is going to be designed, constructed, it's going to have infrastructure done by locals, maybe that is going to work, because the current Lusaka is totally saturated with investment. There's so much investment here. Everywhere you look, you've seen that someone is invested. Anything you can think of, someone is doing it. I was looking at the ice cream shop here. It's very interesting. I was excited to see what the guys are doing with the ice cream, with the takeaways. They've got everything here, which if you're a young person and you're trying to enter these markets, it's going to be very difficult. You end up being relegated to informal sector. But as I said, very, very organized. I'm very impressed by the Zambians. They've done a great job here in terms of order. They've got a lot of order, the Zambians. And even if you look at this, there's order. The women in the villages, they've got order that they put in their things. They're not just doing substandard stuff. Right, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. Obviously, I'm not an expert on Zambia. I've only been here for a day. And obviously the question is, why am I here? Why did I come to Lusaka? And obviously, what I was trying to look at is, we're going to be doing projects in Kariba. Kariba is 180 kilometers from Lusaka. So if I fly into Kariba, into Lusaka, let's say in the morning, and I drive to Kariba, it will take me 3 hours. Whereas if I fly into Harare, which is 390 kilometers away, it will take me, let's say, 5 hours. If they don't fix the road between Makuti and Karoi, that road, it destroys everything for me. Every time I drive there, I have to slow down so much. There are so many cars and so many trucks on that road. So I'm obviously looking at what other alternative routes can I use. And this is an alternative route which we could use. We fly into Lusaka, we drive into Kariba. But because of the state of the roads in Zambia, I'm finding it difficult to use that road also. The road is so bad, and I hope the Zambians fix the road. And then also the lack of transport, formal transport. I don't see why the Zambians cannot formalize the transport sector or even put up a railway line between, let's say, Chirundu and Lusaka. That's quite a busy road. A lot of people are standing on the side of the roads. So that is also a possibility. Or even make a train which goes all the way to Kariba. It's good for tourism. They could work on that with the Zimbabweans. So these are all alternatives that I am looking at. And certainly, what about establishing a business here in Lusaka? I'm sure we could do very, very well here. There's a lot of gaps that we could fill. But as I said, the competition is very, very stiff. If a foreigner was to come here and say, I want to start a business, they will find it very, very difficult to set up a business because almost everything is being done. But obviously, if you're a clever business person, for example, I'm in media. I'm sure if I was to come here and run media here, I could give the current media houses a good run for their money. There are other sectors like that. I'm not saying I'm going to come here and run media. I've got my hands full in Zimbabwe. But I'm just saying, if someone was to come here with ideas that are new and unique, that would develop, for example, e-commerce. Those are the kind of businesses where a lot of money could be made. But in short, I like what the Zambians have done here. I like the Zambian people. The people of Zambia, they are very, very friendly people, very peace-loving, and very orderly. What I like about the Zambian people is they're not trying to cheat you. And you know what I mean. In other countries, which I won't mention, everyone is just trying to fleece you. They are trying to steal from you. And this is ordinary people. I'm not talking about government here. I'm talking about an ordinary person in the streets in certain countries. They want to steal everything. The Zambian people, very, very honest and very orderly. So the foundation that this country has got to build on, very good. They can do well here in Zambia because their values are right. As a nation, they've got the right values to get started, to build a country that can do very, very well. But what I see is that the government has not put in place the infrastructure to create an economy for the people, an economy that will make Zambian billionaires. Come to think of it, where can a Zambian billionaire come from now, as we speak? That question needs to be answered. If you cannot create an economy that can make millionaires and billionaires in a capital city like Lusaka, then you always have a dissatisfied population, especially the young population. They may not uprise against you, but they do not have, they're not getting the benefits of all this development that is there in the country. So the government of the new president, Hakainde Hichilema, they've got a big job of making this economy or localizing this economy. The farms that I saw when I was coming here, they're almost unused. All this land, when I was driving here, nothing is happening there. So there's opportunity in agriculture, the e-commerce that I've talked about, the women, and especially removing everyone who's in the streets, creating a new city for them, fixing the roads, making this economy something that you can be proud of. Because obviously what is happening now is not natural. You can't have people selling everywhere on the road. And you can't have all those women, every woman in the villages standing on the side of the road selling. You can't have that. That's not normal. So those are the kind of things that this government needs to fix to make this economy local, to start creating millionaires and billionaires. And that's a very, very big challenge. It's not a tribal task. You will see that they will go for 20, 30 years without fixing this. But when a foreigner walks here, when I talk of foreigner, I mean myself. When I walk into Zambia, I've got all the benefits here. I go to the bank, I withdraw money. I go to the hotel, I swipe my card. I sleep in a nice room. This room is fantastic where I'm staying here. And I paid very little for it. And I've got great Wi-Fi. But does the local person have great Wi-Fi? Do you have opportunity for youngsters? I can see a drug problem starting. I was walking on the flyover there. There's a drug problem which I can see starting. Young people under the bridge, they're starting to smoke drugs. That is going to start spreading. All these people that we have, how do we formally get them into the economy? Are they getting loans from the banks? Are they in the economy? So lots of questions for the Zambian government, which I think a lot of people love. A lot of people love the Zambian government. But do we have the same love going from the government to the people? Because the people need love. They need support from their own government. And especially this young man, Humphrey, what he told me, the transport situation, that there's no transport. And this is not a small thing. Transport is how you connect people. And all over, wherever I went, you've got these little taxis that people are using. There's no formal bus which you can book. People are having a hard time transporting goods, fish. I saw women transporting fish from Kariba. And they have to pack this fish into little taxis, and it's so informal. That is where the government here needs to start, to make things formal and easy for everybody, and then to create a local economy. Very, very big challenges. Right, so I've talked about the challenges, and obviously I've only seen a little bit. When I come here next, I'm going to make sure that I'm driving. I'm going to go all around. This is a massive city. I want to go where people live. How do people live? I want to check out the airport. Next time I'm going to fly in here and see what infrastructure they've put in there. But in general, they've done very, very well here in Zambia. But obviously, there's no country which is perfect. There's a lot to be done here. And for myself, I think I'll give it a try. I'll fly into Lusaka quite often, maybe once a month. And when I'm here, I'll obviously keep talking about Lusaka. And then obviously Kariba, we're doing projects there. We want to make it succeed. The problem with Zimbabweans, now that I'm talking about Zambians, let me talk about Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans, they settle. If they go to any other place, they settle. If you see a Zimbabwean in Mozambique, they're settled. A Zimbabwean in Zambia, they're settled. A Zimbabwean in Botswana, Namibia. They're settled there. They don't want to go back. A Zimbabwean in the UK, United States, New Zealand, Australia, they want to stay there. They think they belong that side. Until one day, they wake up and they realize that they don't belong there. Look what's happening in South Africa. If you tell a Zimbabwean right now in South Africa that there is nothing for you in South Africa, they will fight you. They think that somehow young people who are being told that Zimbabweans are stealing our jobs at 5 are going to grow up and say, fine, you can stay here. There is no way. Every young Zimbabwean who is in South Africa right now, after the 2024 elections, there will be no Zimbabweans there. You'll be chucked out of that country and you'll be back in Zimbabwe. Or you have to find another country to go to. And these are the facts, because everyone wants their country. They want to get opportunity in their own country. And this thing of 4 million Zimbabweans in South Africa, it's not going to work. You can't have 4 million Zimbabweans in a country where other people are also wanting jobs, working there. So Zimbabweans have to come home. And this is what we're trying to do. There is no question about that. Right, guys, I talked too much today, and I'm sorry. I'm using my phone. So let me look at a few comments here. Right, let's look at Riza saying, yes, the local person is great Wi-Fi. Where do you think what you are seeing come from, if not Zambians themselves? Your analysis is premature. I don't know. I saw a lot of Zambian guys, and I don't think they're doing well. I think there's a lot of work to be done. Enoch says, Zambia is a good business destination for Zimbabweans at the moment. Enoch, talk to me. Tomorrow, call me. Let's see where the opportunities are. And then let's look at Madanire. You love Gambakwe. I love you too. I love a lot of people. I love Zimbabweans. Let me tell you guys how much love I've got for you. I want Zimbabweans to do well. But I feel that Zimbabweans don't get it. Zimbabweans are too political. I tell you this, every moment I meet a Zimbabwean, they're thinking politics. Politics will take you nowhere. Let me tell you what. First, you have a government. You can't say, no, we don't want this government. We won't work with it. We'll wait for another government to come. That is not good. That will take you nowhere. That is what Zimbabweans do. And this problem of politics in Zimbabwe, that is what is bringing us backwards. We keep chasing things, hoping that one day there'll be a new government. And that will never happen. Because politicians, they're the same. Right now, if you look at Chamisa, he's got MPs in government. They went in now. They will never do a single thing different from the current MPs from ZANU-PF. What needs to change is the culture of the people. And the Zimbabwean people, they've got a poor culture. They've got poor values. Why? Because Zimbabwe, they've got a culture of running. They talk about the problem, they run from the problem, and when you try to give them a solution, it's shocking what Zimbabweans would do. They will turn around and blame you. So even if President Mnangagwa was to come right now and say, here's the solution, they'll blame him. The day Chamisa, in 10 years or 20 years' time, when he becomes president, they're going to turn around and blame Chamisa. Because no one wants to fix the problem. Everyone wants someone else to fix the problem. That is the problem in Zimbabwe. Right now, we've got the issue of cash. Zimbabweans are cutting around. Someone in his house has got $1 million in cash. They don't want to bank. Where do you think cash is going to come from in the ATM if you are putting 1 million in your house? Where do you think the stability of the currency is going to come from if you are changing money on the street? Don't blame the government, blame yourself. That is the problem with Zimbabweans. Loving politics too much and being crooked. Honestly, Zimbabweans make me laugh. Look at Kariba, how beautiful it is. People fly to Durban and they don't drive 5 hours to Kariba, where there's all the amenities. Well, I don't know, but I just think Zimbabweans need a lot of help. Okay, casinos. I agree. There are too many casinos here in Zambia. Some of them Chinese. I wonder how you can work at the Chinese casino. That would be crazy, but they probably fix the machines. Then let's go to Dobiwa. Yeah, right. The economy doesn't at all favor a local guy. Sorry to the Chinese guys. Okay, so I think that point is made. Guys, I really enjoy new cities, and we young people. When I talk of young, I'm 45 years old. The guys between 35 and 45 were the elders now. The guys under 35, they're looking up to us. The guys under above 45, they need to hand over to us. But what I've realized is that our age group, the 45s and the 50s, they are not standing up to the task. The solutions need to come from us. And the solutions are not coming because we just helpless as people. Like, everyone wants a quick answer. There's no quick answer. The opportunity is here and people need to take it. When I tell you guys that there's opportunity in Kariba, I don't get the necessary course that I need to get. The day when you go and you think things are now normalized, a multinational is going to come and put a huge development there by Kariba. Or they're going to discover gold, or they're going to discover platinum. And by the time you try to come in, you can't get in. The thing is, we need to open our eyes as young people and change the way we think. Honestly, if Zambia can be like this, if Mozambique can be the way it is. I've shown you guys Mozambique. I was in Mozambique. Mozambique is stunning, but the locals have got nothing. A local in Mozambique is no one. They're selling fish. When they see me, they start running to me with a bucket of fish. But the multinational in Mozambique is doing very, very well. Similar, if you come to Zambia here, the local is got nothing, selling on the street, on the road, on the ground. But the multinational has got a mall. There's Levy's office park there. You saw it, there's Woolworths, there's all these big companies. The local young guy must hold hands with another local young guy. They work together and create a solution. This is what we need. And similar to Zimbabwe, you can't be sitting in South Africa, in UK, and think that you're going to stay there forever. That is our problem. So the two countries, Zambia and Zimbabwe, two different problems. The Zimbabwean doesn't want to take responsibility. The Zambian is in a very nice environment, but they're not part of it. They cannot enjoy what is happening. That is my thoughts. I don't think everyone will agree, but I think all the people that I showed you were selling on the street. They will agree that they want to be in shops. They want malls where they can display their goods, where they can lock up at night and go home. Not to unpack everything and put in a bag and then go home every night. I think that is something that is obviously important. The guys who are making bricks on the side of the road, they want somewhere where they can sell their bricks. They don't have to display them right next to the road. The guys with the lodges, they need more customers. These are our challenges here in Southern Africa, which we need to deal with. Right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back in Kariba tomorrow to finish up our business. So the guys who are in the diaspora want to do projects with us in Kariba, real estate. Get in touch with me. I've got so many messages, guys. I tend to not answer my messages quickly, but eventually, if you WhatsApp me, it will be better. So my WhatsApp number. So let's do the WhatsApp. Here's my WhatsApp number. WhatsApp me here. If you Facebook me, I won't be able to get those messages because there are so many. I can't get to them. WhatsApp me here. Let's have a call. We need to raise this particular week. We need to raise $40,000. And you get your own piece of real estate in Kariba. We already gave the details, so I'll send you the details. But we need to raise that money. And don't think that you'll ever be able to do it alone. The only way to do this, to invest in Zimbabwe. If you are in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in UK, is through a group. I'm not saying come to my group. You can go to form another group, but Zimbabweans have to unite, form groups, and then do consortiums. I'll talk more about consortiums. That is the only way. And then you can invest in that economy. Otherwise, the Zimbabwean economy is ran away from everybody. Prices are crazy there. Properties are going for $500,000. There's a property in Kariba right now for $1.5 million. You cannot even hope of buying such a property. But here I'm offering you a way. And we're going to continue this. In 5 years' time, mark this date, 15 April 2022. In 5 years' time, everybody's going to look back and say, Gambakwe, when you started, we did not believe you. You remember 2 years ago, I told you that the South Africans are going to throw everyone out. And people fought me. It's going to get worse. One day, everyone's just going to be told that if you're not from South Africa, walk out of here and go home. It's going to happen. Mark this date, which I'm telling you, because the pressure is just too much in that country. It's building up. There's no way they can maintain 4 million people from another country in their country working, and they don't work. So mark my word, guys. Take this, what I'm telling you here, very, very seriously. And let's fix our country. Let's take the opportunities that are available. Just like the Zambians. The Zambians are trying all that they can. It's now the job of the Zambian government to do the rest. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll talk again tomorrow. I'll probably be on the road, but I'll try to make a video. But if I don't manage, we'll do it on the next day, on Sunday, before I fly off to South Africa. All right, thank you very much for watching, and good night.
Mama wanna get it, mama wanna get it nice. I know food I miss, I know food I tell, I know Kaya Mari. Gambakwe don't come, when don't come,
Gambakwe uyo anotara mari anogaya mari garai mamunzwa pane pano zvamunoda kunzwa zvinotaurwa pano madiko kumunzwa mugovane.com. Gambakwe vanogaya mari vanotara mari vanoziya mari. Gambakwe vanotara feya kuti pamberi zvichafamba sei. Vanhu muterere zvikubatsirei mukufamba kwenyu zvikubatsirei. Mirai ndikudze kuti chokwadi pano chizere. Gambakwe vanogaya cash vanopa mafacts vanotara straight vane evidence vane confidence plus intelligence
entertainment current affairs and news. Gambakwe don't come usasarire. Gambakwe anogaya mari.